see my face, South Africans. I was here, I am now at the Silverton police station, where I open a case of assault in the early hours of today. My abuser is roaming on the streets as we speak. The police did nothing to help us. When we walked in here, they were groveling to him like a king, and I knew something was going to happen. I opened multiple cases.
We're still in the second episode of Tell the Truth right here in the Northwest Sun, and I believe that we are going to also look into the reasons why most of the women stays in the abusive relationship. And of course, today we're going to be talking about fear. And of course, we are having attached, you will see there is a woman who's been abused, and all the time when he wants to go to the police station, or when he gets to the police station, he find out that every time he report the case several times and nothing is been done about that. And she realized that it is more that this man is known at the police station, is known by some officers within the police station. So let me tell you this morning to say to you, it is the act says there is no one who is above the law. So if you find yourself in such situation whereby you go and report a case at the police station several times and no one is listening to you, let me tell you this morning right here from Tell the Truth, it is within your right, it is within your legal right that you just have to go one step ahead. You have it with you to can be able to access the numbers of if probably it is a local police station, you can go to the provincial setup where now you speak to the provincial leadership within the police, so that we end up not thinking that everybody is allowing whatever that is happening. So until you wake up, until you open your mouth, until you take a step, you'll stay just where you are. So you as a woman, you as a man, you as a child, remember that it does not only affect you, it does not only ends and start with women. So you as a woman, you as a man, whoever you are finding yourself in a case whereby there is abuse continuing, and every time you go, you want to open a case, you've been just sent away. Remember that each and every single department, they are here to do their own job. But until you wake up, because no one will know, the higher authority are not going to understand if you are not going to stand up and open your mouth and take a step. So you need to stand up and voice out such situation so that you can be able to receive help. So most of we have attached right here a video of a woman who's been abused, and of course every time when he gets to the police station, he does not receive help, and it looks like the police are also scared of that particular woman, scared of the perpetrator. So remember now, the other step that you have to take, you are going another step forward. You are not just staying there and say you are not receiving help. So just we're going to be taking this video, and of course please take a look, and we don't want to find you in the very same situation. We are saying that it is time that you open your mouth. It is time that we stop it, and it's time that we are saying gender-based violence is a pandemic, and it stopped right here. Gender-based violence, and it's a pandemic, and it is not gonna continue to our next generation. And it is up to me and you to open our mouth, to open our ears, to feed ourselves with knowledge, and be able to say we know what is our right. So it is within your right that you need to live. You have freedom to live in a free country. You have freedom to to live inside your house without any hindrances. Remember, there are remedies of violence whereby you can open a case. This is actually noted within the Constitution. The one remedy is you can open a case. The other remedy that you can also apply for protection order. So now, when you go one step forward, where you are going to report the matter to the higher authority within the police, you are not doing anything against the law. You are acting at your best interest, and you are also acting at the best interest of the other community members that will be coming after you. So attach right here, find this video of a woman who is being abused, and of course nothing and no one is doing anything about the situation. Stay close.
Do you see my face, South Africans? I was here, I am now at the Silverton police station, where I open a case of assault in the early hours of today. My abuser is roaming on the streets as we speak. The police did nothing to help us. When we walked in here, they were groveling to him like a king, and I knew something was going to happen. I opened multiple cases reporting this person. He is making my life a living hell. Minister Beke, please, I am going to tag you on Twitter. I want you to help me. Minister of Justice, Mr. Ronald Lamola, I am appealing to you. Look at my face. I am a woman. Look at my head. The police are not helping me. They're waiting for me to die. The president of the state, this is what your country has come to. No one can defend us. The people that are supposed to be protecting us are the people that are exposing us. They are exposing us to this abuse. Last night, I drove to Mamelodi police station. The police station was closed. I literally drove around the police station trying to get assistance with nobody availing themselves. It looked empty, as though there was no one. Hence, I had to drive from Mamelodi to Silverton, which is not in our district. I drove to Silverton police station. I opened a case with Warrant Officer Muima, a woman, at the early hours of this morning, around 12. They kept on begging and pleading with him. They called him, asking him to come to the police station. They wouldn't let me open a case until they spoke to the person they groveled to, the king. So now, I'm at Silverton police station because he is at home. What do I do now? Do I go back home? Do I go back onto the streets so he can finish me off while the police sit and not do anything? While the police are bribed? Because this is one of many cases. I opened a case against him at the SAPS in Pretoria West in 2016. I opened a case against him at the Central Police Station in Pretoria, in town. The case did not materialize. So today, without even appearing before the magistrate, he is released by the South African Police Service. Gender-based violence. If you guys see this video, I want you to retweet this video until it trends, until I get my justice. Thank you.
Welcome once again. You are with Valencia Andrews, the queen of the airwaves. I'm your host right here in the Northwest Sun. And of course, this is our program called Tell the Truth right here. I believe that me and you together, we are going to engage and of course, make sure that we bring the relevant information to you right here in Tell the Truth. And of course, let me this morning try to come to your house once again. Remember, we are still on the issue of the dynamics of gender-based violence, and what we see in the dynamics of the gender-based violence, we see status, and we have already discussed the status at length, and we also see tradition, we also see culture, we also see finance, we also see unemployment being one of the the dynamics of gender-based violence. And of course, today we are going to look into the issue of status, and under the status we're going to be discussing the issue of the finance, finance that specifically also speak about the issue of unemployment. When we get into the issue of financial stability, it also affects the fact that obviously when unemployment is at a rise, especially because of the problem of the COVID-19, where most of companies are being closed, or maybe they have retrenched a lot of people. So now that's why we find finance becoming very rife right here in South Africa. So now, most of the cases, most women, I understand that finance also affect men, but what causes violence, and when we looking under the issue of finance as a dynamic, we are checking into the fact that when there is no financial stability at home, you find couples fighting one another. You find women accusing men of not providing. And of course, you also find at the end of the day, it does not only affect men negatively. It only affects them. It also affects them in the sense that as a man, when you are not providing for your family, you have this feeling that says to you, your manhood is being taken away from you. Because we all understand that it is said that a man is a provider, and also accept the fact that it is said like that. A man feels more authoritative. A man feels like he has to protect his family, and he feels like it is very important that his family has to be safe, not only for him by using his muscles or his voice as a man, but a man want to go to as far as providing for his family, making sure that there is groceries, making sure that his kids goes to school, making sure that he provides to his woman, even if the wife is as well. So at the end of the day, when a man does not have the muscles of the capacity to can be able to provide for his households, for his family, what happens is there are emotions going on inside this man. So that is why unemployment and finances, it does not only affect in terms of them saying that they want money, and look, watch this one. So it affects the men in the sense that it takes their ego away from them, and they feel that their wives or their spouse are going to lose respect on them. They also feel like they will be disrespected by their children as well. They also feel that's exactly most of the cases that also causes cheating, where you find women going out. And also when it clicks into a man's head, understanding that I'm not providing, and of course my wife goes and have meetings with others, even if it is not like that your wife might cheat on you, but because of that ego that is been taken away, your manhood has been taken away, you feel like you cannot provide. So at the end of the day, what happens is you end up really feeling insecure. So your insecurity comes in between you and your spouse, you and your partner, without you even knowing, without you even noticing, without even the woman maybe complaining to say you are not providing, you are nothing, and whatever. You end up, you as yourself, as a man, you end up judging yourself, and you thinking that your wife or your spouse does not love you. You thinking that your spouse or your partner is seeing you as nothing. So that's how finance as a dynamic of violence also comes in and affect the whole thing and becomes an issue and becomes a dynamic of a gender-based violence. When we're looking into the issue of women as to how finance as a dynamic affect them and end up finance becoming a problem in terms of gender-based violence, it's obvious that when there is no financial stability, even if you as a couple you want to discuss serious things and the children wants that and you also need that and there's nothing coming in, you are not working, your spouse is also not working, you end up becoming stressful and you at the end of the day you end up feeling the pressure that you are working alone and all that and all that. So at the end of the day, then that's where now we find violence coming in between the two spouses, the two couples. And at the end of the day, even if it is not something that you have said, you as a woman, even if it is not something that you've complained about, but at the end of the day, it still comes and it causes depression. And then now when you are depressed, or maybe when you are stressed, and when you are overthinking as a woman, your husband or your spouse comes home, your partner comes home, he needs your attention. And at the end of the day, the only thing that you're thinking about is, oh my word, there is no food at home. The children cannot go to school. There is no that and there is no that. So at the end of the day, you lose concentration when your spouse or whoever talks to you. And that it causes a conflict whereby now your partner will end up thinking that you probably are having a relationship with somebody. That is why you are not even concentrating, forgetting that a finance also, it goes to emotions, it goes to your spirit. You end up just losing the sense of who you are, and at the end of the day, that's where now both of you are two different people that are so emotionally broken, and it becomes a problem when you are both so emotionally stressful and you cannot even give yourself to one another as a husband and wife or as partners inside the house. And at the end of the day, there becomes conflict that also goes and affect the children as well. So finance is a very serious dynamics. It's a very serious issue when it comes to gender-based violence. So it is very, very important that as partners, you need to be able to be open to one another. You need to be able to be open to one another as to how you feel, as to what are your fears, as to what is it that you can do, as to in terms of finances, to say we are having this challenge, and try to understand and accept the challenge and try to see if you cannot come up with a common grounds. The more you be open with one another, the more you try and still show one another that you are there for one another, you love one another, and come up with some solutions. It doesn't matter how you say, look, there is somewhere, somehow, where you can be able to be placed just for us to can be able to get something to eat for the kids and what. But at the minute you're trying losing one another because of finances, you concentrating on the problem and you are not concentrating on the solution. So the best way is, as couples, it does not only affect you alone, but it also affects the kids and it affects your health. So it's very, very important for both of you to understand that your health comes first. It's very, very important for both of you to understand that stressing is never going to be a solution, but there are solutions outside there. I know there's a lot of there's an issue of the pandemic where businesses are not doing well, where people are being retrenched, and all that and all that. But when we can go back and understand why are we together as a couple, we will understand that the aim is for us to carry one another's burden. The aim is for us to be there for one another. The aim is for us to speak to one another. The aim is for us to uplift one another. The aim is for us to say we love one another in sickness and in health. And the more you penetrate into the issue, the problem, and the more you'll be able to end up finding the solution. There is always a solution for each and every single problem. So finance is quite a very serious issue that affects relationship. And like I said, it does not only affect women coming to fight with men, because we also need to understand that as women, we need to help. As women, we also need to help. It is affecting both of us together. It does not only have to be a problem that is facing a man alone. So because it is all affecting both of us together emotionally, and it works on and it takes on a lot of load away from one another, whereby there comes a time where you wouldn't even have time for one another. So the more you discuss it, the more you talk about it, and the more you seek for help, the more you seek for solutions instead of concentrating on a problem, the more you look at yourself saying, we are different and we are special. The more you're looking at your beautiful children as blessings to say, we need to take care of these kids. But together, if you join hands together, there is no way in which you wouldn't find a solution to that kind of a problem. Yes, of course, like I've just mentioned, that we're dealing with the dynamics, and today we're going deeper into the issue of finance. Like I correctly said to you, that it affects you as a man, and you as a man, you feel that your ego, your manhood is being taken away. And it affects you as a woman. You feel like your partner does not love you, or you feel the pressure also from the other people from the outside, how other women are being taken care of at their homes. So the most important part is you also need not to compare yourself. Instead of wasting time trying to compare your family, trying to compare your spouse, trying to compare your husband with another man outside there, instead come up with solutions, come up with ways of trying to say, what is it, can't we open a smaller business? What is it that we can do, both of us together? Also spending time together, trying to come up with solution, pray together, visit centers that can be able to assist you. It is very, very important that we need to curb against this issue of finance, allowing it to come in between the two of you as family. You are still tuning into Tell the Truth right here in the Northwest Sun. I believe that the information that you are getting, it is going to open your eyes. It is going to open your mind. It is going to give you wisdom. It is going to give you the better perspective, because the more you have knowledge, the knowledge will be able to assist you to be very much aware that even before this thing comes and knock at your door, you need to be very careful about it, and you need to be aware of it, and you need to know how you can be able to stand against that. And I believe that we cannot allow finances to come in between, so that the most important thing is to make sure that we are using that as an opportunity to reach out to one another. There is no problem that does not have a solution. And of course, like I just said, finances is one of the dynamics because of unemployment. So now it is very, very important to become aware that this can happen to anyone, and we don't have to allow it. We need to know how to close the gaps. We need to know how to be upfront about it right here on the Northwest Sun.